All right, let's get right into it because this is a big one. It's a question that, if you're a dog owner, has probably crossed your mind, maybe even kept you up at night. We see our buddies get the blues, and we can't help but wonder, just how bad can it get? Today, we're going to unpack all of it.
You know that phrase, dying of a broken heart? We use it all the time for people. But is it just a poetic, human thing? Or can our dogs, our best friends, actually experience something that real, that final? We're going to look at the science and the real-life stories to get to the bottom of it. So here's the bottom line right up front. The answer isn't a simple yes or no. A dog isn't going to just drop dead from the emotion of sadness itself. But, and this is a huge but, that profound sadness, that depression, can kick off a whole chain reaction of physical problems that are absolutely 100% life-threatening. The danger is indirect, but it is very, very real. Okay, so to really understand how this happens, we need to kind of look under the hood. We're going to get into what's actually going on inside a dog's brain and body when they're hit with that deep grief or depression. First things first, let's be super clear. Canine depression is a real clinical condition. This isn't just your dog being in a funk for a day. We're talking about a true physiological state that gets triggered by big life events, like losing a human or animal companion, or even a sudden jarring change in their whole routine. And the signs are things you definitely notice. They stop eating, they sleep all the time, or they just lose interest in everything.
And here's where it gets really interesting, how a dog's grief is different from ours. See, dogs live almost completely in the now, so their sadness is this incredibly intense, direct response to what's happening in their world right now. They're not usually worrying about the future or agonizing over the past like we do. And honestly, that's good news. It means that with the right care and a new stable routine, they can often bounce back faster than we can.
Let's talk chemistry for a second. When a dog is really stressed or sad for a long time, their body gets flooded with a hormone called cortisol. Think of cortisol like a fire alarm that's supposed to go off in an emergency, but instead it's just stuck blaring 24/7. Over time, that constant alarm wreaks havoc. It kills their appetite, and maybe most importantly, it just crushes their immune system.
And then you've got the other side of the coin, serotonin. You've probably heard of it. It's that feel-good chemical. Well, in a depressed dog, serotonin levels take a nosedive. And that's what causes that deep, heavy lethargy, that total lack of interest in going for a walk or playing with their favorite squeaky toy. It's a genuine chemical imbalance happening in their brain. And look, this isn't just us guessing or projecting our own feelings onto them. This is hard science. Researchers at Emory University put grieving dogs into fMRI machines, the big brain scanners, and what they saw was incredible. The parts of the dog's brains that lit up were the exact same areas that light up in a depressed human's brain. It's actual visual proof that their emotional pain is just as real as ours. So, we've got the emotion and the brain chemistry down, but this is the crucial turning point. This is where that emotional pain crosses a very dangerous line and starts doing serious physical damage. The most immediate, life-threatening problem is when they stop eating. It starts with just a loss of appetite, but things go downhill fast. We're talking just 3 to 5 days of not eating, and a dog is already at risk for really serious stuff like fatty liver disease. If it goes on any longer than that, you're looking at organ damage. This is a 5-alarm fire, a true medical emergency.
So, what are the absolute red alerts you need to watch for? Think of this as your emergency checklist. If your dog refuses to eat for more than 48 hours, period. If they completely check out from things they used to love. If they start weird behaviors like licking a spot on their leg raw. These are not wait-and-see symptoms. These are pick up the phone and call the vet right now symptoms.
The other dangerous pathway is a little sneakier. It's that weakened immune system we talked about. With that cortisol drip, drip, drip happening, their body's defenses are just shot. So now they're wide open to secondary infections. Something like pneumonia or a simple UTI that a healthy dog could fight off no problem. Well, in a depressed dog, it can become incredibly serious, even fatal. And this isn't just theoretical. The data we have and the stories from real owners and vets, they paint a really clear and, honestly, a heartbreaking picture of how real this all is. Check this out. A huge 10-year study from the University of Pennsylvania followed 500 dogs who went through a major loss or change. The numbers are pretty sobering. 12% of them developed severe depression with real physical symptoms, and 3%, that's 15 dogs in this study alone, came close to dying from those complications. This is not a rare thing.
300%. Just let that number sink in for a second. What on earth could that be? Well, a study out of Tokyo University found that dogs with severe separation anxiety had a mortality rate from stress-related illnesses that was 300% higher than other dogs. It's a staggering number that really shows you the lethal power of long-term emotional distress.
There's this phrase that shelter workers sometimes use, and it's just devastating. They call it perishing from heartbreak. It's what they see happen when a senior dog who's had a family its whole life gets surrendered to a shelter. These dogs are confused, they're grieving, and sometimes they just give up. They stop eating. They fade away. And there's no medical reason for it other than a spirit that's been broken.
And the individual stories are just wow. You have cases like Sam, a greyhound who developed life-threatening liver disease after his best dog buddy passed away. Or the military Malinois whose body started attacking itself with autoimmune disorders after his handler was killed in action. Or the two bonded labs who got so sick when they were adopted out to separate families that they almost died, and then recovered almost instantly when they were brought back together. It just shows how this trauma can hit in so many different ways.
Okay, I know all of that was really heavy. So let's shift gears, because this next part is the most important part of this whole explainer. There is absolutely hope. Canine depression is serious, yes, but it is also treatable. So what can you actually do? Think of this as your owner's toolkit. On the do side, the biggest thing is routine. Keep their walks and feeding times as consistent as possible. It's their security blanket. And definitely call your vet. On the don't side, and this is huge, never give your dog human medications. And don't try to force them to play if they're not feeling it. Patience is everything.
And listen, if you've tried everything and things just aren't getting better, there is zero shame in getting professional help. A vet might prescribe something like fluoxetine, it's basically Prozac for dogs, to help get their brain chemistry back in balance. Or they might suggest a veterinarian behaviorist to come up with a really specific plan for your dog.
But through all of it, the vet visits, the routines, the new toys, please remember this one thing. The single most powerful medicine for your dog is you. Your calm, your patience, your steady, loving presence. That's the anchor they need to get through the storm. Even when it feels like you're not doing anything, just being there is everything.
And that really brings us full circle, doesn't it? Our dogs, they give us everything they have, their whole hearts, unconditionally. They trust us with their entire world. What we've seen here today is that their emotional health and their physical survival are completely intertwined. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Are we doing enough to protect the amazing hearts they give us?